everybody, and welcome to today's video. My name is Mariah, and we are doing a story time type of video today. We are stealing the idea from Mark, Bob, and Wade's podcast, Distractable, where they did an episode called Kids Are Stupid. And they talked about ways that they or their friends or whoever should have died as a kid because kids do dumb things that should kill them all the time. So I figured I have a couple of these stories. Let me do a story time about it. Let's jump right into it. The first story is about how I thought I was the coolest little shit on two wheels because my dad got me a dirt bike. And I was zipping around, going all over the place on this dirt bike, thinking I was the coolest little thing. At my friend Casey's house, there is a split rail fence that goes along the highway. She has two driveways, and they both had the split rail fence on the edges of it. So just a little rectangle for me to ride my little dirt bike in. Since it was along the highway, I thought, I'm gonna race cars. So I was zipping back and forth, going on my dirt bike, thinking I'm the coolest thing. I love that this is my dirt bike hands. I'm on my dirt bike. I'm thinking this is the coolest thing, racing cars back and forth. Well, one time, I was going a little too fast, actually, on my little 50 Yamaha that was pink. I slammed on the brakes, which proceeded to make me slide. And as I'm sliding, there is a split rail fence coming at me at Mach 2 in my little kid brain. I was probably like 6 or 7. So I'm sliding towards the split rail fence. And you know, my helmet doesn't exactly fit the way it's supposed to, so when I make contact with the fence, my helmet decides to twist, and my cheek kisses the split rail fence. I start crying because it hurts so bad. My mom came out, she had to untangle me from the dirt bike and the fence, and she looks at my face and she goes, "It's just a little road rash, wash it off, quit crying." Which was her response to most things that happened to me. And usually they were easy to just wash off and quit crying about. But this one kinda hurt. I do as she says. I quit crying, I wash it off, and I get on about my day. Next morning I wake up and I can't see out of one eye and I can't move half of my mouth. That's interesting. I wonder why that's happening. So I go down the steps and I go, "Mom, why can't I move my face?" She looks at me in absolute horror. I can still remember her just eyes popping out of her head, looking at me, and she says, "Don't look in the mirror. We're gonna go somewhere." And I'm like, what the heck? So I look in the mirror, obviously. When I look in the mirror, half of my face is purple and swollen shut. So this is the story of how I broke my face. Went to the hospital, they do an x-ray or a CT scan or something, and see that I cracked my cheekbone. And I was like, "It's broken?" And they said, no, if it was broken, your face would be sucked in. And I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes it better." To which they respond, "Well, there's nothing we can do. You're just gonna have to get over it and go home." The doctor wasn't going to do this, but the nurse actually slipped my mom some fake skin. It's stuff that you put on abrasions or cuts or burns, I think, and it literally like heals your skin. It acts like skin, and you have to peel it off. Most painful thing I have ever had to do. By the way, I don't recommend getting cuts and abrasions so deep that you need fake skin. But the nurse said, "She's too pretty to have a scar on her face. Take these and don't say anything." So we took those. I am scar-free. And I thank that nurse every day for what she did so that I didn't have to grow up with a massive scar on my face, because it literally looked like road rash and it would have been a pretty big scar. And here's a picture if I found one. Second story is the reason I got a dirt bike. So I had a pony, and let me tell you, this pony was a little bastard. My mom got this pony off of a meat truck, and that was my very first pony that I ever got to own. If you know me, I've been riding horses my whole life, and this was my first horse, except it was a little white Appaloosa pony. Let me explain to you why he was a little bastard. On a regular basis, would back up to a wall and then rear, bashing whoever is on him off the wall, trying to get you off. He would also run as close to a fence as humanly possible, scraping your leg down it and trying to get you off that way. He was just a little asshole. Ponies are like that. If you have any ponies, you know, especially if they're Appaloosa ponies. I think those are the absolute worst. But I loved that horse. His name was Thunder, and he was amazing. So one day, Thunder decides he does not want me on his back anymore, and starts bucking and rearing and kicking and bunny hopping all over the place. And my mom's like, stay on, hang on to him, stay on him. I proceed to yeet off into the stratosphere. I do a 180 turn, nosedive, head first into the ground, and land on my head and stay there like a beautiful ballerina for a moment before my neck decides to snap and I fall over. Thus, my mom screaming and thinking that I have died, because I almost did die. In fact, the chiropractor that I went to did some CT scans, MRIs, everything on my neck because I have a lot of neck issues, and he says, yeah, you have a really old injury where you cracked one of your vertebrae. So, I very well could have died, but I didn't. My mom also happened to be on the phone with my dad whenever this was occurring. Obviously, he heard something was happening, and he booked it to the barn, and he sees my mother cradling me as though I am dead on the ground. Now, how was I reacting to all of this? I was pissed off because I had sand in my mouth and I couldn't get it out. Fair. Fair. Sand in your mouth is disgusting, on top of it being horse sand. Sand for in a horse arena. I was very upset at that. Nothing else was wrong. And my dad said, horses are too dangerous and unpredictable. We're getting you a dirt bike. And that's how I ended up breaking my face a week later. Now, this third story is so fun in my mind that I decided I want to act it out. So this next portion of this story time will be acted out while I narrate. So picture this. It's the 90s, and my sister is about 11 or 12, making me 1 or 2. So, my sister is sitting down watching TV, supposed to be watching me, but watching TV when a magician comes on. And his assistant steps into a ring of fire, and the flames shoot up, and she disappears. My sister thinks, wow, I could do that. Then she gets up and runs to the bathroom, to where she starts placing toilet paper in a circle on the counter, and then places me, a human child, in the center of the ring and tells me to wait because she's going to make me disappear. She grabs a match and she is ready to light this fire when who else but my mother walks in just in time and scoops me up, saving my life from my sister. And that is the story of how my sister almost killed me because she wanted to make me disappear in a ring of fire. Who does that? Well, I hope you enjoyed these 3 stories about how I should have died. There were multiple other ones I could have told. And if you want to hear more, just let me know by liking this video so that I can know that you liked it. And hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this, or if you just want to see more of me because I do something different every week. You can always unsubscribe, it's free, no strings attached. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!